Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Kazilny. This is the lovely Alita. How and welcome to Tough Times Never Last. Another lovely Wednesday night in Victoria. Wherever you're watching, love and best wishes. If you're going through some difficult issues at the moment, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is a brand new day. You know, what I liked about this show is that, you know, people really open up. There's so many closed books in society, you know, so guarded, and they tell you what you want to hear. They're always playing to the opinions of other people. But when you can get to a stage where you're completely independent towards the opinions of other people, remembering there's so many backstabbers out there, Leader, it just becomes a beautiful dance life, doesn't it? We dismiss the past. The past is really dead time, and we live for the now.
And you have to be prepared for dismissing the haters and those people, because if you're totally honest with yourself, and I have got a friend going through that at the moment, she's telling people that she's got bipolar, and you know, she has to be prepared for the evilness out there and just dismiss them.
Correct.
And let the beautiful ones in. That's the only way.
And unfortunately in life, they say, folks, all good will be attacked. So the more successful you get on the ladder of success, the more the people who feel insecure in themselves want to drag you down, you know, through the backstabbing sessions, through the small evil sessions, to now the internet. But if we can just, you know, smile in the face of adversity, that's a beautiful thing, because nobody can ever hurt you anymore. That's the beautiful thing. Just enjoy life and run your own show. On tonight's show, it's amazing. A lovely lady called Monica, who is a very popular host on Cambodian TV on Channel 31, and soon she'll be on Foxtel and probably also in Cambodia. She's doing great things. But what an amazing story. When she came, without even knowing us too well, she told us about depression. She told us about suicidal thoughts. She told us that she was on heroin and even been a victim of sexual abuse. Thanks, Monica, for coming on.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wow. We don't need to ask too many questions at all. Tell us the story.
Oh, okay. Well, where do I start?
Did you want to start in Cambodia, where you said? Is it?
Yeah, well, when I was here after high school, I actually left high school when I was 16. And I left because I had a couple of health issues that stopped me from going to school. So I was like just a teenager that used to faint at school every day, to the point that I didn't want to be at school anymore because people were wondering why. And then,
like, you almost died. It was a condition where your heart problems and everything.
Well, with the heart issue, my mother was really supportive back then until I got onto heroin. I was hanging around the streets. I was running away from home. I never stole from anyone else, but I stole from my parents. And that was a bad thing that I did, like looking at it now.
Monica, what age were you when you had your first hit of smack?
16.
Did you inject with a boyfriend, or how did you get into it?
I started smoking it, and then after that, I basically had someone peer pressure me to actually inject it as well. And then I was using it until I was 19, and I OD'd 3 times, had 3 overdose, and the last time...
Oh, bless you.
The last time just shocked me, because when I woke up, I saw my mum on one side, my grandma on one side, and all I remember looking at was the door at the hospital half open, hoping that all the people I've shouted like would come through. No one did, and then after that I thought, you know what, don't worry about it. I don't need these people.
Isn't that amazing?
Never
No
went
one
on
else came in to visit.
And then, Monica, it's quite amazing, isn't it, when things are going well and you know, you're living the life and you're in the media. A lot of people want to hang around. You know, we convey this impression of an advancing person, but when things are going down, you know, people, you know, they go away. It's a shame, isn't it?
You have no one by your side, and it just feels like, what happened? Where are you?
You became very lonely.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you get your license and you have a car, you have mates like left and right calling you, your phone never stops.
And it's quite amazing, you know,
she's
on TV, on Cambodia TV, and lots of fans, and they love her, and she's a leader in the Cambodian community, and lots of fans, you know, lots of people who love her, and she doesn't even know them personally. But it's a bit like Elvis Presley, you know, when the king, he wrote in his little diary, "I'm so lonely." That's why he was taking those prescription drugs all the time and passed on. But he was so lonely. And so was Jim Morrison from The Doors. Very, very lonely, you know, very lonely and isolated, flying around in those jet planes. But loneliness is a very dark place.
And that's what they say about heroin. if you're lonely inside and then you take heroin for the first time, like that is just a mix of hell that you just fall in love with, and it's the hardest thing to get off if you're feeling like that. It's just a love affair. Is that the way you describe it?
The way I would describe it, I would have been a bit different, because remember I had a weak heart as well, and I did it because I felt that I needed friends, because I lost all my good friends when I started smoking marijuana or cigarettes. So all my good friends started to drift away, and after that I basically just had, when I had my first hit, my first needle, I was throwing up. Like, I was walking down Springvale Road constantly thirsty, necking a bottle of Coke easy, like one go, and I just chucked it up, went to buy another drink, and it felt good though, but it felt fun, relaxed, and I just didn't care about anything apart from thinking about the feeling that I was feeling inside my body. But then sitting here today, looking at it now, looking at it back then, I was thinking, what was I doing? And the amount that I used, the amount of money that I spent on it.
So every day you had to?
Every day.
Yeah.
It's quite, Monica, it's funny how life works out. Some people just have all the good luck, everything they touch turns to gold. You've had some very dramatic issues, the drug use. You've been kidnapped, I think, in the boot. They wanted to make you into a prostitute. What was that all about? Where was that?
Yeah.
Well, that was in Cambodia. So
how did you get to come back to Cambodia?
Okay, so when I was 19, my stepfather, who's a famous actor in Cambodia, he sold everything that he had here. We had a house in Hampton Park. I went to high school in Hampton Park, and I also sort of like switched from my family home to my grandmother's home in Mitcham. So I had like changing schools all the time and everything. And when we went to Cambodia, they sold everything here, they started a business, and then after the election, there's a lot of corruption down there.
Yep.
It's so bad. After the election, the business just went straight down to the ground. My parents ended up spending, selling everything they had, everything that they built here from the day that they got here.
Can I just ask, Monica, sorry, Dad's a famous actor in Cambodia?
Stepdad.
Stepdad, okay. So the parents who came here to Australia, not your father? Stepfather, was it?
Yeah, I've never known my real father.
No, but you've seen him in the movies?
No.
That's his stepfather.
Oh,
That's my stepfather.
The stepfather that they built up everything here. That's who she knew, and then they went back to Cambodia.
And the actor's the stepfather, is he loaded? We might talk about the loaded stepfather.
They lost it all.
Okay.
She went back there. They went back with their hopes and dreams in Cambodia.
Okay, we might talk about that. I'm a bit slow tonight, but we'll come back very shortly and we'll clarify all that, and hopefully I'll get it. But don't go away. Welcome back to the show. Tough times never last, but tough people do. You know, when I wake up in the mornings, I always think about the fleeting moments, the impermanence of life, that nothing lasts forever. You know, sometimes people just think about all the negatives in their life, and there's a lot of self-pity parties out there, but if you're a parent, remember when where kids were born, the babies are born, you know, we take that for granted. Remember when you met that partner and you got married, even if you got divorced, just remember those special moments, you know, they're all part of those special moments of life, because one day will come when death is going to come and wipe us all out, you know. No one's all going to stay together. We always think the family unit's going to stay together forever, but one will go and then the other person will go, and even unfortunately children, it'll be their time to depart this wonderful journey as well. So, you know, death is one of those things like money. You know, you meet somebody at a party and don't talk about money, you just bullshit, you know, have the nice car, the nice clothing, but nobody says, how much money do you earn and how much money have you got on the bank? Death is another one of those taboo subjects, you know, but the Buddhist people think about death every day, and they think, wow, I'm alive, you know, what a great time to be. Isn't that right, Alita? It's good to be to embrace life and all its problems, because it's never that bad.
To appreciate the here and now, and yeah, just value every second, like the breathing in and out. Thank God I'm still alive. I've got 2 parents that chain smoke and they're 73, and every day I think, geez, another day forward for them, isn't it really?
Exactly. And you know what, I don't understand, the mind, the mind, nothing's either good or bad, it's how we perceive, happiness is really an inner journey, not the externals. But this beautiful lady here, beautiful lady, but she was saying in the break she split up with her boyfriend recently, and she's going through pain, she's going through depression, and even had some suicidal thoughts. But when I look at you, Monica, you can get anybody. You can just go down the street, get a good-looking boyfriend, and go to the Gold Class Cinema, have a couple of glasses of champagne, go to the Crown, and go to the villas there and have some fun. What do you say to that, defendant?
Well, after I broke up, I spent 2 months in my room, and I didn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and I was annoying him all the time. But then now, going out, it's a big thing. I remember the first day I stepped foot out of the door being single, like as in coming out of the room, going out with the girls. A bloke approached me at the pub in Crown, and he came up to me and he's like all drunk and la-di-da, and I was wearing like this nice dress, and I couldn't talk. I was like, see ya, bye, you gotta go. And it's just like, now every time I look at a guy, I don't know how they're approaching me.
It's like your confidence being
it's
that
been
way
demolished.
just not yourself back. You've got to just start rebuilding who you are. And were you with him for a long time, or?
We were together for about, I think it was a year and a half, and then I spent like 6 months.
Did you want to say something to him tonight, Monica?
I still love him a lot, and yeah.
I sound like Richard. I sound like Richard Moose on Love Songs and Dedications, don't I? Do you want to say something to him tonight? Can we play a song? What about that Richard Moose? He's a funny bloke, and he's a smooth voice. He's been around for 30 years. Have you ever listened to that, Love Songs and Dedications?
No, I haven't.
No.
I'm not really a radio or television person, even though I do love it. But I've written about 4 or 5 songs for this guy.
Wow.
So like,
what's his
throughout
name?
the relationship. His name's Ethan.
Yeah.
What's so special about Ethan?
He's a horse.
A horse?
We call him the horse because
I've got
I'm a
pictures
rabbit.
in my head about the horse.
I'm a rabbit and he's a horse.
Oh,
So in Chinese zodiac.
I thought he was well hung or something. But getting right back to the story, at what point in your life did you want to end it all?
Oh, well, in Cambodia,
Yeah.
going back to that,
there. No, we
back
want to
to
get
that.
back to there.
Yeah.
Because you went back there.
Right.
And the whole family moved back, and they had this idea of a business, spent all their money to get back, and then they lost everything.
Yeah.
And how old were you when 19?
Yeah, I was about 19, 20.
Yeah. So what happened from there?
What happened from there was because I started not to get along with my stepdad because he always had like this grudge about me with all the drugs that I did and whatever. And I think when I was 20, my
were
parents...
Were you clean back there? Did you?
Yeah, I was.
Yes, yeah.
And my parents actually left Cambodia, came back to Australia. So I was left there with my 2 stepbrothers, which I love dearly, and my stepfather's side of the family.
Wait, how old were you then?
I was about 20.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
19, 20.
Oh, so they moved back here?
Yeah, so my
After-
parents came back here to work.
Oh, because they lost everything there, so they came back and you're left with these other people. Yep, yep.
So what happened was my 2 aunties, they really disliked me, and I felt that they were fake.
Yep.
I felt that they were greedy. I felt that they were robbing my parents. Like I saw the lies.
Like money was coming
Yeah.
back and it wasn't going to you, so you're going, where is it going to? You
Yeah,
probably weren't
like
getting.
I just saw all these lies, and so I was depressed.
Yeah, of
I
course.
started going out, and one night, so this is where the story starts.
Yeah.
One night, I was walking down the riverside, just in front of the palace. So where the royal palace is, there's the Mekong River, and there's just like this long road that goes down to the bridge. And I was walking, and I, being young, really sexy, and the way that I dressed and everything,
You stood out.
Yeah, I just, and not looking Cambodian, I
Yeah.
look like a tourist,
Yeah.
you know, and this girl approached me and she looked decent. By all means, she looked decent.
Yep.
And she actually said to me, oh, you know, you look sad. You know when people approach you and
Yeah.
they try to tell you, oh, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, there's something wrong with you.
She
I
was
said
trying to
something.
prey on your vulnerabilities at the time, yeah.
Yeah. So I fell for it, because I was depressed
And lonely.
and I needed a friend. I don't know anyone here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm experiencing a life, and yeah, I just didn't want to go home. So I thought, all right, she's a chick. She's not going to do anything to me.
Yes, you wouldn't think. Geez,
Yeah.
they're smart, aren't they? Yeah.
And then she took me down this alleyway, and she goes, oh, you know, I'll let you meet all my friends tonight, and da da da. So I thought, all right, the more the merrier. That's how we Aussies think.
Yes.
So we went to this other street that connects to the palace, and it's just coming down from the casino. And what it is, it's like a garden. It's like a big block where the monument is. And there's benches where you sit. There was just a bunch of teenagers. And then I thought, oh, you know, this is cool, you know, like thinking, wow, I'm going to actually meet someone, have friends. I did not have any idea what they were doing. And Mum had came back, but I didn't know because I've been like running away from my step aunties and so forth. Then this car just came. It was like a Honda Civic, if I remember, full of like these young guys. And in Cambodia, a 5-seater car, you can fit as many people in as you want, as long as you can fit.
There's no rules.
There's
yeah.
no rules. And then all I saw was who I thought was a mate, like one of the guys in the group ran up and they were talking, they were acting cool, they were like da da da, whatever. Next minute they're like, oh, you know, you three. They go, oh, you know, like if you want to go out with them. And because I ran away from home, we were broke and everything, I just thought, all right, whatever. So we jump in the car thinking, oh, that's so-and-so's friend. Jump into the car and then we ended up going over the bridge, and how it works is where the city is, it's cramped, it's packed, it's really, you know, nightlife. But then once you cross that particular bridge, it's called Chirojangwa Bridge. You go into like this part where it's quiet, it's like dead. You turn into this dirt road and it's just nothing. Then there was like this, all I saw was like this green light, and we were at like this place where I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was one of those places where they take women to sleep with and gang bang, whatever. And
Was it like a warehouse, or was
it was like a
office block, or
how would I say it? Like a villager's hut, like
yes,
huts and
yes,
that.
yep. So you've gone from the city to the back where it's huts.
Somebody was running this for a profit, were they?
Yeah, no, the places hire them. So it's like these little huts, right? And they're closed off. They look like stick houses. And then what happens is you go in, you buy your own food from outside, like fishes, rice and that, and then you come in, you drink whatever, there's beds and whatever, you know. So we went in and they were drinking in one room, then the room next to it had like a bed. And next minute all I knew was I was shoved in there, and there was a guy like trying to full on get on me. And by that time the doors were locked, right? The doors were locked. And it's weird me saying this because like my parents like do not know about this. None of my families or friends never spoke about it. Doors were locked. This guy was like half naked, and I'm just like, what the are you doing?
Like
you
he
know?
paid for
How old
you.
was this bloke? Some rich businessman?
No. They were what we call still. Still means young teenagers that are, you know, still into their hooning days, like all the hoons and whatever, all the gangsters.
When they pay an admission fee, do they? Who do they pay? Well, no one.
Not admission fee. What happened was my mate, the guy that went to the car to speak to them, is the pimp.
The pimp.
Oh,
And said
so he
she'll
gets-
go with you, and
he
that was
gets
it.
money.
That was
And all these girls that I was hanging out with, I didn't know that they were prostitutes.
and he picked
They
you. That was
they
one of those-
were
Oh, they were happy doing it. They were lining up to...
yeah, but I was clueless. I was just a girl that thought
So
it
the
was
bench was where the girls were, and they picked you, who was just coming along,
Yeah.
and then you got put in this
And
situation.
they get a cut. They get a cut
Yeah.
from the pimp bloke, yeah?
Yeah, so the girl that brought me there, she would have made pretty good money.
Did you get out?
All right. So what happened was, I was smart. I watch a lot of movies, and I was 20, and then I said, you know, I said something like, "Oh, yeah, you really want to go," or something like that. Come here. When he came, I bit his ear and I jumped out the window, because how the window was, there's a blinds. Wow. So I had no idea.
Where you were going to, or the jumping to.
Yeah.
We might talk about that ear biting and how you escaped. That's an amazing story. We'll be back very shortly with Monica from Cambodian TV, sharing a very close and personal story. Back shortly. Welcome back to the show. Melbourne, Geelong, East Coast, love and best wishes to all. Thank you very much for coming up in the courts and saying good day. You know, it's always nice to hear your stories and how you recovered over the last few years. Thank you very much. Yeah, tough times never last, do they? Tough people always get through them. It's part of life. Lovely lady on the couch, Monica. You know, has gone through the drug addiction, through the down times, through the suicide thoughts, to the ugly boyfriend scenes, to the last story was in Cambodia, how she got picked up by this prostitution racket, two naked blokes in the room, and then escaped through the window. How did you escape?
So it wasn't two in the room. It was
like one.
One at a time.
They were actually organising to have her in prison and do gang raping one at a time.
Yeah.
So this is by the second one that she just thought. How do you find that funny?
No, but just, you know, I mean, two blokes in the one came and then the other one left and then the other one. I don't mind it funny, but I was funny about myself.
About you laughing at it.
The first, like, the second one was, he was really aggressive.
And he hit you?
Yeah, he slapped me twice, and then because
my
Cambodian wasn't that well, I was like, I think I said in English, "Bitch, you slapped me."
Yeah.
And then I just started.
I wouldn't even
You
imagine.
gave him one back though, didn't you?
No, I actually bit his ear. Like, so.
You'd be doing anything to get out of there. Like, it'd be the fear.
Because I was like trying to get him off me. I was like, fucking get off me, you know,
you would have
whatever.
tried anything. I can't, everything in your power.
Did you kick him in the balls or?
I'm bad
Can
with
you really
legs.
imagine being in this situation where you don't know where you are, you're in a room, these two men are coming in here, you are actually thinking maybe they're going to kill me at the end of it. Can you imagine the fear that would come into that? And jumping out the window, your primal instinct would you just do anything. So you jumped out the window.
Yeah, the one thing I remember though was that I didn't cry.
Good.
That's one thing I remembered. So what happened was I sort of said, oh yeah, well, let's go. You know, so I jumped on the bed because the window was at the top of the bed.
Just trying to trick him in.
Yeah, so when he came like close to my face, all I remember was I bit his ear and I kicked him off the bed. So I just like went bit, kneed off the bed.
Good
and
stuff. See,
jumped
hear
out
that?
the window.
She won the fight. She came back to Australia. Tell us about the happy stories, because the segment is short and sweet. Tell us about the projects for the great Monica, or is it Dolly? Dolly is your stage name?
Dolly's my nickname.
Okay.
So it's my new name.
Good.
Yeah, because Monica was my
Past.
heroin days past.
Let's
everything's
dismiss
gone.
the past and let's
Monica's
get reborn
gone.
into the moment. What's the great lady Monica doing on in the next 12 months?
All right. Well, at the moment, next month, I do have a gig that I wanted to give a shout out to.
Yes.
And we have a group at the moment, and the man that's taking care of it is DJ C, which is also known as Costa Pandas. And we actually have like a group, and we're running an event. It's called Word of Mouth at first floor on Brunswick Street in Fitzroy. And so that's happening on the 20th of July next month.
Wow.
And there's just like 15 local acts. There's including DJ Claz, DJ Chris, DJ C,
And
myself.
we might get more information
you've
then
got
on your
beautiful-
website.
beautiful voice.
Monica, you know the game. Thank you very much. We've got to wrap up because airtime is valuable. Thank you very much, Alina, even though for abusing me. And thank you very much, viewers, for the
deserved
pleasure
it.
of your company. Check out those details on the website. And also, thank you very much to the Salvos, always doing a great job, one life at a time. Thank you very much for
And Cambodian
Beyond
TV.
Blue, Cambodian TV.
TV.
Check that out, and
That's what she's
love
on.
and best wishes. Good night.